Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a first-time viewer, my name is Jeff Lanoski. Today is an awesome day because I'm at Ray's Mountain Bike Park in Cleveland, Ohio. This is one of my favorite places to ride in the country. I know I've been saying that a lot lately. It's because I just put out a bunch of videos from Sedona and Arizona, and that's my favorite place to ride as well. But if you follow the channel, you know I love technical stuff. If you've never been to Ray's Mountain Bike Park, it's over 120,000 square feet, and at Ray's, there's no shortage of technical terrain. There's all these tricky lines, skinnies, balance beams, things to ride up and over. If you want to work on your skills, there's no better place to come than Ray's. And one of my favorite things to do is try to piece together the trickiest lines I could possibly find, riding things forward, backward, switching from one trail to another. So today I'm going to show you 6 lines that you should never try if you come to Ray's Mountain Bike Park. Let's jump into them. So as you can see, the park is pretty empty today. Definitely don't want to be trying any of the stuff when it's super crowded. You just don't want to get in people's way, make anybody else crash. All right, so here's how this is going to work. I'm going to walk you through the line, and then I'm going to put on my chest camera because, in full disclosure, a lot of these lines are going to take a bunch of tries, and I don't want to make somebody have to stand there over and over and over while I literally try something 20, 30 times. So I'm going to walk you through it, show you what the challenge is, and I'll strap on the chest cam and show you what it looks like if I get it. This one is inspired by a Phil Metz video I just saw the other day. All right, so in his video, he rode down here. This is kind of tricky because when you look at the round stuff, it's hard to see a straight line through there. Onto this stuff, nothing's flat here, so riding on this is kind of tricky. And then there's this cool cut through. So I'm gonna do a cut through here, but then instead of going that direction, I'm going in this direction. We're gonna ride up here, pivot onto here, do a step up onto this bridge right here, and then this is going to get super technical. And then now, since this thing is scooped out and I want to go up there, I'm going to have to ride on this ridge right here. So it's going to be pretty tricky to get both tires on here and then transfer over to this ladder bridge. We're going to get on this balance beam, or the teeter-totter, and then transfer from the teeter-totter onto here, and then finish it out. I think this might be one of the easier lines, so it's a good place to start. So let's strap on the chest camera and show you what this one looks like when I get it. All right, that line was super tricky. Now it's time for line number 2. Have you ever ridden your bike on an elevator before? I have, but it's been a few years. So this line starts out here. It's gonna go into this elevator. You ride out, you tracks in, try not to touch the walls, and it'll drop down. This sign here used to say no Lanoskis, because I think one year I did break this thing. Ride out on this balance beam, and then we're gonna transfer up into this course, and then up here, and then this is where it's gonna get super tricky. On this log, it's nice and flat, transfer over a bike length, land, transfer over again onto this one, ride out here. This is really wobbly and round, and then out this telephone pole. This thing is super sketchy, but when we get to about right here, we're gonna try to side hop onto this log, out here, ride to the end, finish it right up there. All right, so the side hop off the round log is gonna be pretty tough. So let's strap on the chest camera and show you what this one looks like. That thing was super hard. That one took me about 7 tries to get. Line number 3. I'm gonna start right here in the center. I'm gonna ride down. We're actually gonna ride this log all the way this time. Get up onto this log, up here, and then here's where it's gonna get tricky. I'm gonna try to ride to the end of there, do a kick turn, set my front tire on that one, kick out my back tire, no correction hops, and then get back on this telephone pole and ride it in reverse. Onto this skinny, and then back to where I started. All right, the goal is to finish that one right back where I started. The hardest part about this one is gonna be doing the kick turn on that slatted ladder bridge. I'm gonna have to go pretty high where the boards are a little bit tighter so I don't snag my tire when I pivot. And then to hit that 90 and turn again is gonna be super tricky. Let's put on the chest camera, give this one a try. Oh my God, that was hard. All right, that kick turn proved to be as difficult as I thought. Probably 20 tries later, I got it. All right, before we do the next line, I get a lot of questions about the bike that I ride, and this is cool riding at Race Day because I'm out on my custom Reeb Hip Hop Trials bike. It's a 27.5 Trials bike. It's similar construction on the frame to the mountain bike that you see me riding a lot, but what's different about this one, crazy standover height, really low seat tube. The bottom bracket is super high, so that makes moves when you're on the rear wheel a little bit easier. It has 27.5 wheels. It has a much steeper head angle than my normal mountain bike, much shorter rear end. You can see there's like no room in there. You want to have a really short rear end on a trials bike, keep it nice and agile. Huge back brake, Shimano XT 4-piston caliper with a 205 rotor on the back, a 180 in the front, Industry 9 wheels, tubeless tires, Vittoria Martellos front and rear. I have a airliner in the back so you can't pinch flat, ergon saddle, ergon grips. The drivetrain is kind of unique. This is a Shimano Saint shifter and rear derailleur. So on these bikes, since there's such a small cassette, you don't want to have the easiest gear possible and you want a lot of ground clearance. So this is really cool because you could have a really small chainring up front with a MRP bash guard and then a really small cassette in the back, so it's not getting in the way or hitting on anything. All right, bike check video intermission over. Time to get back out on the trails. All right, this one's gonna be tricky. So we're gonna start and finish right here. We're gonna drop in to this trail backwards. And then whenever you're on these logs and these organic shapes, it's kind of tricky and it gets so much use that these things kind of get slick. So you're gonna have to keep your balance on this thing. And then this is gonna be way too tight of a turn, so I'm gonna have to do a kick turn here. I wanna double back in this direction. And then here's where things are gonna get tricky. Nose pivot to set up for here, up, over the wall, don't fall in there. I wanna stay on the ladder bridges. We're gonna ride out here. I'm gonna try to do a kick turn. So do a full 180 on my back tire. So I turn and set it down here and then ride out here, ride this teeter-totter backwards. And then since I want to go back on this trail, we're gonna have to do a big nose 180 to get turned around nice and tight and out here. I've avoided riding the entire length of this log, so we're gonna go on here. And I avoided this for a reason, because it starts out fat and it gets skinnier. And if that goes good, up there, finish right where I started. One of the things that makes these lines so difficult is none of the moves are necessarily impossible, but just stringing them all together and just trying not to make a mistake is one of the hardest parts. Think I got this one? All right. He seems confident. Dropping in backwards. Now we're going the right way. Little back wheel adjustment. kick turn, nose pivot, up and over. Now here's the tricky part. Stay on this ladder. Backwards, teeter-totter. That thing is tough. Another nose pivot. And then this time, we're going all the way down. This thing is so hard to make it all the way. Boom. The kick turn was hard. The kick turn was really hard. Probably took me 5 or 6 tries, but I got it. So we'll check that one off. On to the next one. Like I said, these are all getting more difficult. So now we're on the other section. I think this might technically be an easier section, but I came up with a couple lines over here that are gonna be even harder than the other two. So let me show you the first one. We're gonna start back here. We're gonna ride up this little ramp. We're gonna get on the handrail. Nothing crazy yet, but then now it starts getting some pretty high consequence. So if you fall down there, that's about 7 feet down. If you fall here, it's only about 4 feet. But I want to ride to the end and get into the backside of the jump. So you're gonna have to ride pretty far onto this, crush your front wheel, lunge in. If we get that, back onto the same skinny. This time we're going all the way to the end. So pretty tough after that. Kick turn, hopefully set my front tire down right here, down here, and then this is the place where you usually screw stuff like this up when you should be home free, and finish on the top deck. Ooh, that's so scary. Backside, nice. All right. Believe it or not, this is tricky because it's a super tight turn. And then, please don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. Oh. And then, kick turn over that, onto here. And then usually blow it on something simple. That one was really, really sketchy and really fun. Stoked to have gotten that handrail ride. Definitely didn't want to fall off that one. That one took a handful of tries as well. So with this one, I'm gonna ride onto this ladder bridge and then up onto the wall. Now, that's a 2x4, but it has rounded edges, so it's actually skinnier than a 2x4, and it's offset. So you're gonna have to try to hit this thing with some speed, get up onto the wall, and then when you're up here, that's probably 5-6 feet down to the ground, 3 feet over there, across this wall, down here, and then I'm gonna try to get real close to this rock and then transfer onto here. And then no consequence, but super easy to screw up at the end of your run and blow everything. So onto this skinny right here. It's pretty chewed up. This is like a 2x4. Gonna try to ride all the way to the end to here and then transfer onto here, down around this berm, and finish right where I started. This one's gonna be tricky. This one's gonna be kind of scary because getting up on that wall, it's got some height and you gotta hit this entrance to it pretty fast at an angle, so hopefully my tires stick and this one works out. This is one. Thing is friggin' wobbly as hell. Whoa. Onto here. Now we're going for the skinny again. But instead of going all the way to the end, we're going for the transfer. Yeah. Nice. I had an awesome time riding at Ray's, showing you 6 of my favorite lines. that you shouldn't try if you ever come to raise. Hopefully you liked the video. If you're looking for online skills coaching, check the description below for a link to my Patreon group. It's a place where you can communicate with like-minded riders, post up videos, ask questions, I'll answer them. Members of the group will answer them. We'll help you improve your riding. Also, if you're looking for in-person skills coaching, I just launched the Trail Boss Academy. Our first event is coming up in Florida, probably only days after posting this video, but I'll be putting more dates on trailboss.bike so you can come out and ride with me, improve your skills, have a good time so that next time you're out on the trail, you can ride like a boss. So that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Get out there and be a boss.